I only bought the...
Oh, tangled.
Oh, jeez. Danielle's like, wow, you guys are a bunch of Goonies.
Audio geeks now.
Dad'll be all proud of you. Oh, you're just a Behringer. Congratulations, son.
What's that?
My dad'll be all proud that I used a microphone.
Congratulations. You've graduated to a real big boy's microphone.
Well, here, if you
instead
want to
of that little boy's
lav mic.
Lav mic inside of another. There we go.
Yeah, okay, good.
We're good.
Oh my god.
It's a little bit longer. I still have my short cord on my. I think mine might be a little bit shorter than yours.
Testing 1, 2. Okay, yeah, we seem to be doing pretty good. Let me just drop the level.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Okay, sorry that took forever. So here I am, somewhere on hallowed ground outside Maker Faire, where we shot the original Make It With Calvin episode eons ago. I have got Jimmy from Jimmy Shaw's Tidbits, Joe the 3D printing professor, and the ever amazing Danielle, the wonderful camera person slash everything else here today. So
everything that's not technical.
Making it happen, Danielle.
Pretty much, she is like a food nurse. She was like, the very first thing she did was go to like a sourdough bread thing. So let's start off with Danielle and tell everybody like what, because this is your very first ever Maker Faire, like what you've enjoyed. Yeah. Then we'll move to Joe, we'll move to me, and then we'll move to Jimmy with like stuff that we've seen that's really cool, stuff that we like, things like that.
Okay, this is interesting. I haven't used one of these.
Well,
obviously,
talk to him. And just in the mic, or near the mic.
Obviously, it's my first time here, so I didn't really know what to expect. And it's a lot bigger than I realized, because, when he first told me about Maker Faire, it's like, oh, that's cool. It's like, you got a place where...
A bunch of nerds in a room,
a bunch of machinists can get together and geek out about all sorts of cool stuff, which is not a bad thing at all. But it's like, I'm not really a technical person, but
it's so much more than that.
Yeah, it is so much more than that. Then when I discovered that there's like a whole food area, it's like, okay, that's more my cup of tea. No pun intended.
Did you see those corn dogs?
Yeah, those. I won't even say, because I know it's gonna come back to bite me.
That's a tube of death is what that is, though.
But yeah, so it's like I started going to like this little sourdough starter workshop because especially because my mom was always into making bread, so I got kind of into it too. So that was really interesting. I did get some footage on that. We'll probably see it later. And then also just going to like all the different food booths and getting the free samples, because free food. And other than that, it's like I really like the dark room. All the light up stuff really fascinates me because I like shiny things. I know I sound...
No, fair. Yeah, I do too.
But it's really cool because there's so many. Obviously, Maker Faire, it's about being innovative, and there's so many things that people think of that you wonder, where did people come up with these ideas? It's crazy. It's like, little solar powered, ball contraptions, a homemade pinball machine, a model airplanes, and steampunk clocks and frames and whatnot that you can like turn the gears. And yeah, it's been a cool experience so far, and it's hard to stay in one place for very long because there's always something new that comes along and you want to check it out. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. The thing that I love about... Now, first of all, the thing that I love about Maker Faire is that Maker doesn't just mean machinist.
Yeah.
That there is that food booth that you can geek out about. And that there is... there's people doing cloth works, and there's people doing and yes, there's the mechanics and the people with robot can show going over there. It has that too. But for me, there's this one booth in the middle that you guys need to troll. I mean, it's really easy to get lost in the booth with all the big wigs in the electronics. Go to one booth over, and those are the maker spaces, and those are the people they're not getting paid to be here, they're just getting a free ticket, and they have the passion, and they are doing amazing things over there. And there's a girl over there who took 3 pendulums and extended them even further so they wave back and forth, and hooked them up and put a table on one, and then she lowered a pen down so the 2 of them on the sides are coming together at a joint, and the bed is going woo boo boo boo, and she lowered the pen on them so they're all going woo boo boo, and it makes it the coolest spirograph ever.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. And she got this idea because it was an old idea. And I went over and looked at it. I'm like, what would you do for hinges on this? And I got down. She drove screws through a piece of metal, and she's just on 2 ends of the wood, and she's tipping it on screws.
That's genius.
I would have over-engineered this thing. She
Ball
made it.
joints.
Yeah. I would have screwed it up, and she didn't. And it was so good. And that's kind of what I love. Is it's not the complexity that I love here. It's the simplicity that I think really drives the innovation. It's absolutely amazing. Love it. Spend more time in that second one over.
They're almost the unsung heroes of Maker Faire.
They are. Well, and if you think that you can't get to Maker Faire because, it's too expensive, all you have to do is make something and become a part of the show, and it doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be electronic. It can be as simple as I've got a friend who is going around with a pad of paper and a Sharpie and a button that measures 15 seconds. Challenged me to draw something in 15 seconds. That's his maker project here.
That's awesome.
Get in here, it's super. Now, of course, if you want to pay for them, I'm sure the Maker Faire will be happy to take your money. But if you don't want to, be a maker. Yeah, I love it. Tablegami. Yeah.
Well, so far I'd have to say that you guys brought up some good points. I mean, while Danielle was at the sourdough thing, I was just poking around the main area where I dropped off some models that I'd done on the Pia Poly Moai to show off what could be done at the Matter Hackers booth, which is cool. I got to meet Tom from Tom's 3DP, but Joe is totally right. There's so many small people here. They're so passionate about what they do. They just don't get the attention they deserve. And that's kind of a shame almost.
I'm dedicating a whole video to that.
I think that's something that we should all do, is try and find the little people doing the amazing stuff that never get any airtime and just broadcast it out there like, look, this is what the maker movement really is. I don't have anything wrong with the bigger companies that are here or anything like that, but I feel like
we wouldn't have the Maker Faire without the bigger companies. I mean, Nintendo's doing a whole booth where you just fold cardboard. They could do better, but hey, Nintendo's paying for it. Let's give them props,
But I think it's also the simplicity of it means they can get kids in there, they can get adults in there. It doesn't make it so complex that nobody can do it. It also has a good turnover rate, so people aren't spending 3 hours in there and nobody can get in. But yeah, don't get me wrong, as much as I know that the big companies make Maker Faire happen, I feel like they almost drown out the little guys because you get so fixated on them, you totally forget there's the little guys over there.
Do you see what these guys are doing over here? They've got a booth set up to play Foursquare. They're playing Foursquare. That's their maker project, is bringing Foursquare to Maker Faire.
Yep.
Foursquare.
That is really cool. So yeah, I guess the big thing is, for me, it's trying to find the cool stuff that just doesn't get shown. It's like there was a big old marble machine thing that was done with Legos, like an assembly line. I was just geeking out over it, and it was a bummer. It was so crowded.
That was so cool.
I couldn't get close enough to really film it, but I'm going to try it later in the day, hopefully when it's less crowded. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible to see something like that done with Legos. Or Danielle was geeking out over like the Lego trains that were there and the Lego City and stuff. I mean, it's really, really cool. So I guess we'll move on to my usual show co-host Jimmy and see what cool stuff, opinions, topics, anything good like that he has.
I got to meet Tom. That was like,
Got the touch too.
I did. I'm like, you're real.
Nah, German computer animation is amazing.
Yes. Honestly, it's been a great show. Got to meet some of my friends that I've known over the years. Got to meet some new friends here. It was really great to meet Clarissa from, what is it, Make It Fake?
Where the heck is she at? I haven't found her yet.
She left. She had to go to work.
What?
Girl.
I know she's on a working trip.
Oh, man.
She's supposed to be back later.
Okay.
Poor cow.
Thanks a lot. I just want to meet the person who made my sweet laptop bag. That's all.
Got to meet some amazing people, though. It was really good. But yeah, the highlight was definitely Tom. And also Joseph was there too. I did not expect to see Joseph. Joseph Prusa. Yeah. I went past his booth several times. Figured, he didn't make it out. And all of a sudden I get a text message from Joe saying, "Hey, where you at? Come over here." I go over there, and here they are out there talking.
Yeah, you know, we're besties, you know.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
the best showman ever. This guy is like, "You need to watch my channel. My channel."
Now, I gotta tell you this, okay? So Joseph comes over,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, we got the multi-material up. You need to come check it out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I definitely do." And then you come up, and I say, oh, "Okay, I will come in a little while, but I'm going to be meeting Jimmy here, right?" And I say, "Do you know Jimmy?" And he's like, "I'm not sure I know Jimmy." Which, okay, you know, smaller channel doesn't get. I understand that he probably hasn't seen you, but I'm like, "Hey, listen. You have got to know Jimmy, and you should probably send Jimmy one of your printers." And here's my reasoning for it. Hold on for a second.
Jimmy died.
Yeah.
Bye, Jimmy.
Hold on for a second. But you'll love this reasoning for it. I said, his channel has a higher percentage of female viewers than any of the rest of us in 3D printing.
Because they can't get enough of this sexy Hulk right here. He's just hot stuff right here.
He's got that laugh that draws the ladies in. But
I will admit, his laugh is contagious.
yeah.
Oh God.
I don't know. Well, we don't know what it is, but we were comparing statistics about who's got the most female to male viewers, and his percentage, while far below 50%, okay, was higher than any of the rest of us. And my sales pitch to Joe was, "Hey, break into the women audience and get Jimmy one of your 3D printers."
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, honestly, everybody's pushing for women in technology and stuff. Yes, he might be a male presenter, but if he's hitting the female audience, that's what matters for getting people into it.
I mean, keep in mind, like the rest of us are at like 8 or 9%.
I don't even know my stats. I'll just put them up on the screen in post.
Jimmy's at like 20%.
No, it wasn't a 20.
Well, it wasn't even at 20. It was at.
He's gonna look
You're
it
gonna
up.
make me look.
No, well, look it up later.
Okay.
It's still.
He'll post it right here.
Yeah.
It's still abysmally low. Like,
Yes.
we need more women in tech. It should be closer to 50-50.
Oh yeah.
And
I still think it's because of my aunts. I think they're the ones watching it all. I think that's here's where the
Well,
numbers
you know
are.
what? That's still someone watching it. I mean,
and she's gonna tell her knitting circle, and they're gonna get into it.
you know, I mean,
That was the end of that stat.
So I'm not just here selling me though.
No, I understand.
You know.
But you do a really good job of selling you.
Well, if my video quality didn't suck all the time, I might be able to retain them.
Mister,
too, you
I'm
know?
filming with a cell phone.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, I did until last year, and I lost all my footage.
Hey, I'm filming with GoPros. What can I say?
Well, at least you got a tascam.
Yeah,
By the way, where's your tascam holder? I thought you had a tascam
it's
holder.
on my belt.
Which actually reminds me, my cell phone app keeps dropping the videos to my cell phone internal memory. So I've uninstalled everything that I don't need, and I'm going to have to reinstall it when I get back. But then every 4 videos, I got to be like, move the files over to the SD card.
Well, you know,
Freaking Android,
Sorry,
man.
children. Sorry, children. Those pictures will have to go.
Well, do you have Google Photos? They back up everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
but that'll just eat your data in the background if you don't have it on Wi-Fi, though.
Yeah, and I don't have it on Wi-Fi, and I got the data warning today, and I'm like, oh crap, I really am pushing a lot of data right now.
I mean, what can I say though? At the end of the day, I mean, I guess the big takeaway from this, and I'll bring the mic back to everybody for like a final conclusions. But I guess the big takeaway from this is no matter who you are and what you're into, if you can make it to a Maker Faire event, one way or another, do it. And honestly, even for somebody like me who, I'll be the first person to say, I hate crowds, I hate really loud noises, I hate how overwhelming this is, I still force myself to come here every year, partly because I get to meet awesome people like you guys. I've got Danielle coming along to help out. You know,
Well, okay.
your wife's gonna hate you.
She will never know.
And that ended our filming relationship with Jimmy. I'm just kidding. No, I mean the big thing.
Do you need couples therapy?
I thought we needed it after the Vegas trip. If you guys don't know, this is totally normal shenanigans that goes down before and after the live show.
It'll totally be edited out. I guarantee it.
It will be. No, the big takeaway here from Maker Faire is, despite me hating crowds, me hating the fact that it is so overwhelming, I still make myself come here every year to meet awesome people. Danielle's been an absolute trooper with helping to film things. I mean, for all the years that I've tried doing it myself, I've never been able to have it where I'm like talking to somebody and somebody else is filming. So, it's just awesome though to meet people. So I guess we'll go around, start with Danielle and go back with like people's final conclusions, and then I'll give mine now so we can move on. But I guess my final conclusion would be there's just a lot of cool stuff here, and some of it just does not get the viewership it deserves. So if you see something awesome that's small at an event, take photos of it, broadcast it out there to the world on your social media, tell friends about it. It's the word of mouth that really drives a lot of these little companies along, and they genuinely appreciate it when they see people tweeting out about stuff, posting it on social media. It does more to help their brand than advertising ever would, because it's a third party endorsing it or going, this looks awesome, you should check this out.
Well, plus they're getting the Calvin bumps, so you know.
Or anybody else, Bob.
That's right.
I'd say bring your kids here. We've run into so many little kids, and just like the bright-eyed looks they have when they look at this stuff, it's like, you're trying to inspire little minds, and especially in this day and age where everything is basically done for you or technology helps you out, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, it seems like kids' imaginations are dying, and this is something that rekindles that. So yeah, it's definitely a family event that you can do, or you can just come yourself. It's all age friendly, basically.
I have no idea how I would conclude a discussion about Maker Faire. There's so many facets and so many angles, and it's almost too broad to try and summarize in any sense, because you would leave anything out. I don't go to Maker Faire. I'm a lot like you, Jimmy, except in a different way. I love the crowds and the activity and the people, but once it's done, I realize, holy smokes, this has been draining my batteries all day long, and I crash, and it
mentally
hurts.
and physically,
mentally and emotionally.
Oh yeah.
And I have fine while it's happening, but as soon as it ends, I like go into a depression, and I don't like that. So I avoid these sort of things because I don't like the after effects of it.
The hangover from the event, practically.
Yes, but I love it, and I've had two goals here. One, to find cool ideas for projects that I can bring back and do at my makerspace, and two, to meet the cool people who I am as much a fan of as other people are a fan of them. And it doesn't matter whether you've got 100,000 subscribers like Tom, or whether you've got you're struggling by with not enough to get YouTube monetization. I'm a huge fan of these people, and as much as I can, getting to meet Barb and hang out with Barb has been awesome, and Ian and Clarissa and you guys and all these people who the numbers say that nobody cares about, but I love you guys. That's been for me really the big.
There's something to be said for the really small people, because we're trying so hard to get the viewership.
It's just the passion. It's just the passion. You're not doing it for the money.
The money sucks. We'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I have probably lost more money than I care to admit doing YouTube, but then again, the relationships and the people I've met and the places I've been because of it,
well,
you could never put a price tag on.
I mean, okay, if you're putting your head on straight, you're not making any money. You're also not making as many cool things, because making these videos takes too friggin' long to have time making stuff. What the heck are you doing, man? There's something wrong with you doing these videos, right? But you still do them, and I love you for it, So yeah, absolutely. It's to me, that's been the thrill, is meeting these people who I wish I could shout from the rooftop and say, God, watch these people, spend more time getting into these people, dig them, man. So yeah, you guys are my heroes, and I'm enjoying meeting you guys. And in my mind, you're on the same level as Tom and Joel and all the rest of them. So I love you guys.
I love you too, man. I love you too.
I love you, Joe.
I got to meet Tom.
Okay, do
There's
you
the
have like a
bookend.
bromance
No,
with Tom?
that's it. Hey,
You got.
I mean,
Thing
he's
is,
got a
I've watched
nice,
Tom
he's got a nice
for,
shadow, man.
for so many years. I've never in a million years dreamed I'd ever meet him.
Well, he
It'd be
was-
like meeting Danielle Norey. I will probably never get to meet Danielle Norey. But if I ever do, I'm going to be the same way. It's going to be like, Daniel.
As he goes back home.
Quite honestly, the thing is, I got to meet up with a lot of my friends. I got to meet Tom. I got to see Joel again, give him a hug. Got to see Travis and Heather and Ari. Got to see them. Got to see my friend over here, Joe. Get to hang out with my bud right here.
Oh, yeah.
Got to meet the beautiful Danielle. It's just been a very, very, very awesome Maker Faire, and I cannot thank everybody enough for watching all of our channels. That's you guys the reason why we come to these in the first place, and we can't thank you enough.
Okay, well that concludes the non-live Calvin and Jimmy show featuring Danielle and Joe. I will be putting up at the end of the video everybody's social media platforms if you want to go check them out, which I highly recommend that you do. And I guess in conclusion, the one thing I will say is go find a small YouTube channel, go subscribe, go watch their videos. If they're doing awesome stuff, shout it from the rooftops like Joe said, and just give the people who don't get enough airtime more attention that they genuinely deserve.
Joel's sponsored by Matter Hacker. Now, he doesn't need your love. Go just stop on his.
Ouch!
Oh, and by the way, we're sorry for burning your retinas out the way this camera's facing.
Oh, yeah,
toward
we're
the
all
sun.
backlit.
The camera actually handles it pretty well. We were backlit last
I don't
time.
think so. It looks pretty bad, dude.
I can correct it in post.
Yeah, we're gonna all be black.
It'll be a silhouette interview.
Yeah.
Everybody's identities have been protected for the sake of their safety.
I'm thinking all we need to do is put an old movie in the back, and we've got Mystery Science Theater 3000, you know?
Oh, this has been great. So, like I said, go find some awesome YouTube channels. We're going to hang out, maybe shoot a few more interviews, and then go back to being awesome people. Thanks again, guys, for joining. It has been awesome.
Yeah.
And let's stop before the camera dies.
Yeah.
All right.